Alrighty, traders, let's get to it. It is Wednesday, December 27th, 2023. And here's our end of the day market wrap and plan tomorrow today. Okay, so we're going to plan tomorrow today. We're going to go through our nightly charts, trade tracker review, and our daily portfolio management with you guys tonight. So we started talking about a little bit about this last night of why we do these videos on a daily basis. And again, in part of my trade plan is my daily portfolio management. And it really starts the night before where we plan tomorrow, today, with a nightly chart, and trade tracker review. So we're going to go through some charts, some basic technical analysis, just looking at where the markets are right now on some things. We're going to come up with some potential ideas for tomorrow if we have some opportunities. Then we're going to look at our portfolio. We're going to look at our data, our delta, our theta, and our buying power, the three main keys to managing your portfolio. We'll take a look at some net lick, realized gains, some monthly stats. Take a look to see if there's anything out of line on there. So knowing that, let's just jump into the charts. And as we take a look at the charts today, we'll jump into SPY. So we had SPX up almost 7 points on the day. So Spider are up 0.86, which is 0.18 of a percentage. So small gains on the session today. And really, we've just kind of stalled out here with just slight increases, every single day for 4 days. Santa Rally is essentially here, and the Santa Rally starts the day after Christmas, and it runs through the first 2 trading days of the following year. And so we've got, another trading session tomorrow. We've got another one on Friday, and then we've got Tuesday and Wednesday of next week to take a look at. So we've still got a full week to go. Average Santa Rally is about 1% gain. So it's not like it's a gigantic 10% rally in a couple of days. Really, it's a 1% gain is the average on it. But where are we right now? Yeah, just slowly moving up, just riding along the 3 ATR line higher. We are again overbought on RSI for both the weekly and the daily. MACD slightly gaining and but flat for the most part on the daily, but it is gaining on the weekly. So we are in a definite uptrend. Weekly still looks decent, but now we're getting into overbought territory on the weekly along with the daily. So it doesn't mean we can't stay there, and we've stayed there again since November 14th of this year. For the most part, we've been overbought now for over a month and a half without a real break in the system. So once we had that gap here, the market has done nothing but just climb its way higher slowly. Taking a look at the Qs, pretty much the exact same setup. A little bit more even pronounced overbought here on the daily and the weekly charts as we look to hit even new highs. So just up fractionally today, 62 cents, but technically that is another all-time high. So it's so small I can't even use the mouse to drag the indicator here, but we'll drag it up. So now a new all-time high today in the NASDAQ. All right, and if we take a look at IWM, it continues to be on fire, breaking out. So small caps, as we really expect to have a good year in 2024, they're on fire right now, though. And this has been a monstrous move up from really these lows. I can go back here to the lows of really around 162, 165, all the way to 204. So about a 25% move since the beginning of November. So since November, 25% up on the Russell 2000. Overbought now on the weekly, hitting the 3 ATR. Overbought on the daily above the 3 ATR and in overbought territory on the RSI. So every indicator here is telling you the markets are overbought, yet they continue to just plod away higher. We'll take a look at the percentage of stocks above their 50-day moving average. I point this out almost every single night. The 90% mark is usually where the market starts to fail, and you're starting to see maybe a little bit of a rollover here. You got MACD and RSI starting to head lower on this on the daily chart. So do we finally start to tail off, or does this thing just continue to move higher? We'll see what happens. Put call ratio pretty much flat on the session today, up 8%, but it's going to keep the 10-day moving average just heading lower. VIX dropping another 4% today, heading back down near the recent lows of 1181, so it's at 1243 right now. VIX dead. The VIX is dead. Volatility is dead. The dollar dropped again on the session today as you are getting further now into oversold territory on the daily, and you're getting close to oversold territory here on the weekly. And this has been a pretty serious sell-off in the US dollar, which is definitely helping stocks a bit, and it's definitely helping the Forex stocks move higher. If we're looking at bonds, interest rates, 10-year Treasury index dropped pretty significantly today, 2.5%. MACD dipping further oversold. So you are getting pretty oversold on the daily. You're getting pretty oversold here on the weekly as well. So this thing continues to sell off, bonds just giving it up. We're now under, well under the 4% mark. So now you're at 378, 379. So pretty weak on TNX here, which would mean that your TLT climbing higher back above the 3 ATR, overbought on the daily, getting closer, but not quite overbought on the weekly. But this has been one heck of a move to the upside. And we're finally back to 100, which is where we really were back in July. So the markets are back to just where they were in July, just 5 months ago. So we've had a bit of a sell-off. We're back to where we were 5 months ago, and we then hung around in that really this 100 to 109 range is really where we were range bound for a good chunk of 2023 here. So big dip, selling back off as interest rates are dropping. Taking a look at the futures. Good day today on the Aussie dollar, a good day today on the British pound, a good day today on the, well, I shouldn't say great day today. So a little bit of a down day today on the Canadian dollar, and then on the euro, big up day. So you're now getting overbought on many of the Forex pieces. So is there anything to be had here? No, I just don't like the risk reward at all. I don't like strangles. I don't like 112s at this extreme overbought conditions. I'm not saying I don't dislike 112s on the way up, but once we get to a certain level, you're just not, you're just not getting paid for the risk that you're taking to the downside here on those naked puts. So I don't want to be selling naked puts at market highs. It's just not a smart thing to do. So 112 trades here, not advantageous on Forex, not advantageous on SPY, the Qs, really even IWM. I just don't like anything in here to trade. So let's take a look at some of our other favorites. Next one here being oil. Oil had a good down day today. So a nice down day on the daily, coming back down, hitting the 21-day moving average. MACD rolling over a bit, but RSI still strong and moving higher daily and weekly. So I think still oil looks good. I think just, you're going to be range bound for a little bit of time here until something sparks it one way or the other. However, knowing where you are and really looking at this line down here, I'm going to extend this thing out into next year. But this previous little bit of a support level here, we didn't quite hit it, but I'm going to leave it up here, and it's right around the 67 range. You're only at 74. You're only 7 points off of this, like a 10% off of recent lows that date back to June and July of this year. I think it's a good risk reward. So I do like 112 trades here in oil. And frankly, I don't mind some strangles here. So we do have all of those working in our accounts. I've got naked puts, I've got 112s, and I've got strangles working in oil. Right now, oil is my favorite ticker. And I don't know if ticker is the right word, but it's my favorite underlying to trade out there. So I do like oil. Taking a look at gold, moved up a little bit higher on the session. today, and it's moving higher after hours. So gold, not overextended at all. It's just moving back up. It broke out of this wedge pattern, so we can remove that. I mean, maybe you know what, I'll leave it on in case it flips to a support level here, which is something we'll watch out for. So maybe this level here that we finally broke out of will flip to a support level. We'll keep an eye on this trend line as well. Now that trend line could possibly be redrawn fractionally. So let's move it in here a bit and see how this looks. That actually looks pretty good for a trend line to the upside. Well, so we'll see if that gets broken. We are not at a 2 ATR or 3 ATR at all on the daily. We're not really overbought. So gold, I think, has some more room to run to the upside. I think we could be seeing some new highs in gold potentially here in the next couple of weeks or so if this continues. Weekly still looks strong as well. So there's just nothing here that's indicating to me that gold is done with this upward move. I don't love it here. It's not overbought. I think you can trade it. I think volatility on gold, if we take a look, this volatility on gold is starting to spike up a bit here. So you're starting to see some pretty good volatility on gold. We're starting to hit some levels we haven't seen in a while, since really back in the beginning of December, when volatility really spiked. Three pretty good up days in a row. So gold volatility has definitely increased, which is affecting our strangles, which are perfectly nice in the middle. But we are seeing some red and some of the strangles starting to creep in gold, simply because volatility is rising. However, you're not anywhere near an overbought territory, at least not yet, on gold. Let's go back to it. So we're not there yet, either on the weekly or on the daily charts. So I think you could see some more upside. I don't really love a whole lot of things here, except potentially I think 112 trades are good. If you want to get a strangle on with high volatility, I don't think that's too bad as well. All right, let's see. Been trying to move this all day. Can't seem to get it to move, so I'm not too worried about it. But anyway, here on copper, we're in copper. I like where we are. We put on a strangle. Again, copper volatility pretty much matching that of gold as well. So copper on the move higher. We've got 112 trades on copper, and we have a new strangle on in copper as copper is moving higher. Now, you've got the 3 ATR and the 2 ATR starting to curve in a bit. Doesn't mean we don't go smash through them. RSI and MACD are rising, so I still think copper is good. I'm bullish copper going into the year. We can take this resistance level here, and I'm going to move it over a bit. Let's make sure we've got it in a pretty good spot. But we broke out of that. Do we come back down here, touch it, and then take off even more? We'll see what happens. I like copper here. We did put a strangle on because volatility is elevated in it. So we're going to take advantage of elevated volatility. Again, volatility is not the end-all be-all for me on strangles, because they're just probability trades. And why would you trade a strangle in this kind of an uptrend here? Because I get the same probability whether it's in an uptrend, a downtrend, sideways trend or not. The fact that I have high volatility here gives me a little bit of an edge, that if volatility comes out, then some of the pricing will come out. Even if we continue to move higher, we could still see some gains in copper. And if we're looking at live cattle, this thing has just been in a beautiful sideways pattern. I wish we had a strangle going. We've got actually a 112 trade, which is still doing perfectly fine. That trades up pretty nicely. And then nat gas is another interesting area here that we're looking at. So we're keeping an eye on nat gas. On the weekly, we've been falling. Here on the daily, we've been breaking out and just chopping around up and down sideways. So really good chop here. You can't seem to find footing anywhere in here. I'm going to take this level off. I don't think it has a whole lot to do with anything anymore. I'm going to take this part of the channel off as well. So we'll see what happens in that gas. Maybe we've started some sort of a new uptrend. We'll see what happens. If this continues to hold, if we can see MACD starting to reverse higher, right now, I want to get some trades on a nat gas, but really what's preventing me is it makes me nervous to trade it to begin with a little bit. But you see how the 21 is moving lower, the 50 is moving lower, the 21's below the 50, the 21's now below the 200, and the 50 is getting close to crossing the 200. Okay, very, very bearish looking trade setups here. If we're looking at the weekly chart, you've got a bearish PSAR trend. Definitely, the 200 here with the 50 below it and the 21 EMA below that, and at least the 50 and the 21 are pointing down. Okay. That tells me that we may not have bottomed. What's the difference when we look at bonds? And let's take a quick look at bonds here. All right. Well, if we're taking a look at the weekly, yes, they're stacked down, but they're starting to head up. Okay, and we've broken up through them on the weekly. All right, and you've got on the daily here, you've got the 21 leading the 50. They're both below the 200, which is starting to really flatten out. Much more bullish looking on bonds here on this bounce as we're breaking above the 21 and the 50, and the 21's leading the 50 on the daily. When we're taking a look at nat gas, okay, we don't have that here. We're not breaking up through the 21 to 50 here, and the 21 stays below the 50, and they're both about to head below the 200. So I'm not saying we don't get in here, but I think time is getting close to getting in. I don't think it'd be a bad trade to put on a 112 here. I want to see this hold and not break down any further. I really need us to get above this 21 and maybe the 21 to get above the 50. And patience is all good here. We talked about it today in a mindset video. And if you guys haven't seen it, I cannot stress enough that you got to go watch the video I posted today down in the YouTube channel. And if you're in the Discord, okay, you got to watch the trading mindset. It's only part one. We've got a lot more to do on trading mindset. However, discipline and patience are two of your keys. Okay, my discipline here is it hasn't really triggered what I want, and I'm patient about it. I'm not going to just jump into this trade just because it's low and I've got a good risk reward ratio. Okay, I've got to make sure that it's actually doing what I want it to do, and I've got to hit my plan. So I'm going to trade my plan, and I'll be patient about it. All right, let's just jump into the account. So we've identified a few things out there. We do like nat gas, but maybe not yet. I do like where oil is. I do think gold's okay right here. And I do like where copper is. I think those are my four trades that I'm still going to keep watching, my four underlyings that if I have room, that's where I'll be adding, and somewhere in those four underlines for now. All right, so today we finished with a -3 delta. Beautiful. I love the fact that we've got some negative delta, but basically just flat zeros on delta. So portfolio overall delta, 0. Theta ticked up a bit, 953 on theta, 0.28. A little light, but it's okay considering where volatility is. 334,453 was our net licks. We're just off yesterday by 500 bucks. We are sitting at new all-time highs in the account. So this is the highest we've been at since the beginning of the month, and it's the highest we've ever been at. So yesterday was brand new all-time high. We're just sitting 500 bucks off of that as of the close of the session today. BP dropped a bit to 20. 65% of which 10% of that's in bills, so 55% really. And then we took in another winning trade today. We closed a 112 naked put for 25.85 for February. Gives us monthly gains of 2,400 bucks. Also takes us back over $100,000 for the year. So we're at 102,199 with just 2 trading sessions to go. So 2 more days to stay above this 102 and to potentially add to it if we can. So we're up nicely in the account. We're sitting at 41% year to date on realized gains, and we're sitting at 33% in net lick movement on the year, which is perfect. 3% a month is exactly what we're looking for. We're right there. Let's take a look at our closed trade today. So the closed trade today was the naked puts on a 112 trade here. So we closed at 3,300 naked puts. Again, taking off, not only freeing up the buying power, locking in a profit of 25.85 here. So locking in a premium capture on the entire trade of over 93% and 24% return on capital. And we freed up all of that capital. So that's why our BPs opened back up, because we pulled 11 grand in buying power off the table. Okay, booked a profit, booked a nice return. And again, our returns on these, okay, 65 days in trade, and I cleaned up a 24% return on capital. Okay, not too shabby in just over 2 months. It's averaging almost 12% a month right now on this, and that was the February 16th. We still have a good handful of these trades on. I also want to show you the IRA. So on the IRA today, did the exact same thing. We were actually able to close a naked put on one of our long-term 112s. We're at 72.80 in the IRA. We're up over 3% monthly in the IRA as far as realized returns. Our goal is 1.5%. So we've doubled our monthly goal so far. And again, we are sitting now at yet another new all-time high. So the IRA continues to hit new all-time highs. We're having an unbelievably great year this year. So we are up almost, I think, over $46,000 in an IRA that we started at 200,000. So we're up over 20%, beating our goals nicely in the IRA with 2 days to go. And in the small account as well, we also closed another winning trade here, and we took off the naked puts of another long-term 112. So overall, 371 on the month. Okay, which is 2.4%, just shy of what we wanted. But we did close a little bit of a strangle loss early on. But overall, good month, and we are not at a new all-time high here. Now we're close. 15, I think 491. I think that's it. So 15,491. So we are about 150 points away on the small account. Okay, but this account's up even more on the year. So we're up almost 45%, I think, on the year, over 40%. So this account's doing fantastic, 40% on a small account. All right, if this stuff is helpful to you, go ahead and click that like button below. What I'll tell you to do today too is, if you haven't seen the mindset video, I want you to go watch that. It's going to absolutely change your trading, but you got to go through it. I listened to it once or twice. Look at some of the training that I give you in there. There's a full ebook. It's a 27-page ebook on mindset that I put together for you guys. We'll have that available at some point here in the next couple of weeks or so, especially for the Discord members. They'll all get that, and then we'll determine we're going to give that out outside of the Discord. But it's a great book. Mindset is key. Okay, you can have all of the trade knowledge you can, but if you can't control your mindset and control your trades and control your emotions, okay, be a disciplined trader. It's all going to be for naught. Okay, you're going to make mistakes. Fear and greed can absolutely come in and wreck a portfolio despite having a great amount of knowledge, because you think it's still going to keep going higher and higher, and then it reverses on you and you gave up all your gains and then some. Or FOMO's kicking in and you want to get in, you get in at the wrong time. Or greed, you're taking profits way too early and you're minimizing your ability to maximize the gains on your trade. So again, if you like this video, click the like button below. Let's get the word out. Let's help as many people as we can. Please subscribe to the videos. Let's see if we can get 200 likes on this video today. That would be awesome. We appreciate your guys' help. We'll get the word out to as many people as we can to help them heading into the new year. So check out the trade video on trading mindset that I posted earlier today. Give a like to this, and we'll see you guys in trading tomorrow. I want everybody to take care. Have a safe rest of your day. Bye-bye.